Hey guys, welcome back to Fantasy Theory. Today we're going to be covering the news that made a few rounds that Christian Bale might be appearing as one of the many Batmans who will be in the Flash movie coming out later this year. We're going to take a close look at this bit of news, see where it's coming from, and find out how true it might be. The Flash movie was definitely full of delays. Originally delayed due to the poor performance of the Justice League movie and the subsequent creative shakeups that tore through most of the scheduled DC lineup, The Flash seemed to find its footing again sometime in 2019, when it was announced to come out this year. In that massive gap, we've learned a lot about the film, and it's going to help us figure out whether or not Christian Bale will be in the movie. The biggest news to come out of The Flash was the announcement that Michael Keaton would return to play the original version of Batman that we saw in Tim Burton's films from the 1989 and again in 1992. Since Ben Affleck is the Batman of the Flash's universe, the inclusion of Michael Keaton was the biggest confirmation that this film would be a DC multiverse hopping affair. The film's official synopsis describes that Ezra Miller's Flash will travel back in time to try and prevent his own mother's death, but ultimately ends up breaking the boundaries that separate dimensions and winds up in the dark and dreary Burton universe. Again, all of this seems to fit fine and dandy with the recent news that Christian Bale is supposed to return as the Nolan-verse version of The Dark Knight, but there's still more to the story. If we look at one of the most cited but unverified leaks that describes the Flash's plot, then we can see some pretty familiar beats and can find out exactly where Christian Bale might fit in. To begin, Ben Affleck's Batman and Ezra Miller's Flash are working together in the main DC extended universe. Flash is distraught over his mother's death and devastated that his father is being accused of the murder. With Affleck's Batman there to help him, the Flash hopes that he, along with the Justice League, can get to the bottom of it. But before the Justice League can help, Flash decides to take a risk and travel back in time to a world where Michael Keaton is Batman. We can probably assume this universe will look pretty much identical to the Burton universe, especially since the Batcave was so similar in the trailer, but there might be some changes here, since the Burton versions of Gotham was basically a Hollywood backlot with dancing clown gangsters thrown in. Now, after going to Keaton's dimension, Flash has a few encounters that change the whole landscape of the DC cinematic universe. Supposedly he'll meet the daughter of Christopher Reeve's Superman, the universe's version of Supergirl. And after they all team up together, Flash faces off against Black Flash, and this is where the multiverse collapses. And this is also the moment where we might see Christian Bale's Batman. The official scoop, as it were, comes from a site called Giant Freakin' Robot, and it claimed that Bale would be back in a pretty big role, originally in Keaton's, but they also suggested that Bale could return in a smaller way. Now, with this type of rumor, it's really hard to find a way to discredit it. I mean, it would be awesome, especially, the fact that I love Christian Bale's Batman, just like, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's arrival in Spider-Man No Way Home was great. Doesn't it seem like DC would also find a way to include all of their Batman characters in Flash? I mean, with the crazy success that Marvel has had with the Spider-Man franchise, I think it'd be foolish for DC not to follow suit. But unlike what this scoop originally suggested, if Christian Bale does return, I bet it will be for a smaller cameo like the supposed final fight in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, where the Fox X-Men characters will show up to fight against Scarlet Witch. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. Until the next one, remember, with great power comes great responsibility.